Hi everyone, welcome to your part 2 of your truth about your sun signs. Okay, so welcome. Okay, so this is your part 2. Let me just get settled over here. So if you're tuning into this one, this is the part 2. So you have to watch the first part where it was talking about the first house all the way to the sixth house. Here, in Astro 101, which is welcome, this is going to be for the seventh house all the way to the 12th house. All right. So let me just put it here where you guys can get your chart. If you have gotten your chart with us or you're waiting, okay, please make sure that you check your spam. We always, for some reason it always goes there because you would need to get a I would call it a one sheet. It's called a form where you're gonna put your details. So we send that to you. You can get your chart. I'll put it in the chat over here. Okay, 1 second, guys. Welcome if you're new to the channel. Also, here we go. Let me see here. Okay, let's put it here. Okay. Now, I always say this with astrology. Astrology, once you get your chart, is not a quick fix. Okay. For us to understand our life in, like getting a report, it is a lengthy report. It's like 50 to 60, the Astronova. You have 1 year report, you have your birth chart over there, you have your lucky points, it's a jam-packed, and astrology is more than that even. Okay, so it's eye-opener, and then it aligns you to a certain path in life. This is what I've experienced ever since I studied and learned astrology through different gurus. But you always need a follow-up. It's not a quick fix. There's more depth to your soul than what you think. So you're looking at past life, you're looking at karmas, you're looking at you. So for you to dissect yourself, okay, like you dissect it per molecule, it's a lot. And it's amazing. Okay, you only have this one shot according to Eminem, so do not miss your chance. Okay, not to get your birth chart. Okay, so go get it in the description box below. Okay, so without further ado, okay, we already got people in the room. We're gonna start now. And if you're catching this on a replay, make sure to hit the bell because I always go live. The Astro 101 is a series of videos, probably we're at 15 already, that help support the people who has gotten their chart to us because I review everything together, meaning in a way that I would teach like this, okay? So let's start now. This is for your 7th house, okay? So watch the 1st to 6, okay? It's in the previous video, okay? Let me see here, okay? So we're gonna go for the 7th house. Now, it explains there what was the first topic. What is the sun? Who is the sun? And then now, we're now gonna see because we're gonna see 7 to the 12. We've seen that it's good in the 3rd house and the 6th house. Okay, 4th house, not so good. It removes comfort from us. Because the sun is a natural malefic planet, which means it has its strength, okay? It's a masculine, strong planet. That's what we call a malefic. Malefic doesn't mean bad, okay? That's what Western culture put into the word, which is not. Malefic is not bad, okay? So let's begin over here. Alrighty, where's my pen? Okay. So, did I put the camera over here? Let's roll camera 2. There you go. 7th house. So that's a house right there. Okay. If the sun is posted in the 7th house, you, okay, as a person, okay, not you, but the person basically who has this, may lose richness, which means money, okay, will be poor, insulted, okay, will suffer bodily diseases, royal displeasures and imprisonment, will take to bad ways and will not be well disposed to his wife, lose character, delayed matrimony, disliked by women, more travels, and many feminine connections, not famine, feminine connections. So you can see here that the sun in the 7th house doesn't give much of a benefit at all. And that's why when you learn about your sun, because everybody is, proud about their sun signs, when in reality, our sun sign is, if it's not in good house, okay, it can become our issues and trouble. So here it's saying that it can be an issue for money. It can be an issue for, relationship, It can be an issue for court cases. Now, you have to understand also the 7th house is when the sun sets. So you can see here, directional strength, it will lose its power. It will lose its dominance. And that's why here, it can be seen as the person, okay, loses wealth and money and insulted. It doesn't have good reputation. And it doesn't even have good health because it is losing that power. Okay? Now, when we look at it also, we have to consider our Navamsha. Okay, so those two goes hand in hand. So think of your Rashi as a 50% of the other 100. You always have to refer to another Varga, another chart. Does it make sense? So 50%, we can see the dignity of a planet in a Rashi because this is D1. And then the other 50, if it's Navamsha, the strength of the planet there. Because those, you have hope. If it's weak on the first, the Rashi, it may be strong in Navamsha. Because the Navamsha is within. This is the soul. So here, Rashi, this is the physicality of the person. So this is what is being seen. So that's the 7th house. Okay? So let's see. Next is the 8th house. Okay, welcome to Astro 101. If you're just coming into the room, you can raise the roof. Okay, raise the roof. Okay. So now we're going to the 8th house. This is not by zodiac, this is by house, which is very important. Okay. We've done Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Rahu, Ketu. Those are all done different houses also. Now, the sun in the 8th house. If the sun is in the 8th house, the person, which is you or whoever is watching who has this, will have deformed eyes. So it can be like the eyes is not even, deformed, it says here. Be devoid of wealth and happiness, meaning the person will not have joy and happiness. Be short-lived and will suffer separation from his relatives because the 8th house is transformative. So then, longevity is also, longevity can be seen where the moon is placed, but here it's just showing that the sun has a say on how, how the person will have long life. Now you have to understand in astrology, short-lived is below 80, long is after 80. So short is below 80. That's what I gather. So when it says short-lived here, it can be before 80, and then after 80 it's long. Okay. Separation from family and relatives, okay. Long eyes, less number of issues, weak health, eye trouble, and unkind. So this is what is showing for the 8th house. Now the 8th house, of course, this is the part where our soul transformed. This is the changes, transformative, right? So it shows here, it can be, like the person will have issue with money and health, because they could be practicing something spiritual. They lose something that is tangible in this planet, and they want to transform into a different path. Okay, so some people would work with this because when you're in a spiritual path, then you won't need wealth. You just need the basics. Of course, eyesight is an issue. Because remember that the sun is blinding. So when we discussed it was in the sun in the first house, it was blinding. And then, here it's somewhat similar also if it's in the 8th house. Okay? So 8th house is also secrets. So a person can have, or not able to keep secrets. Let's see here. After I do this, I can entertain. I'm going to look back at the chat room, but hello to everybody in the chat, okay? So that I can focus first on the lecture, okay? And I'll go back to everybody there in the chat room because I talk a lot and I will get distracted. And we won't finish for 2 days. Okay, hopefully the connection, okay. So the 9th house. If the sun occupies the ninth, the person will be endowed with wealth, money. So it's opposite here, right? Children and friends will be very interested in worshiping God. That's good, right? Gods and Brahmins will not be well disposed towards his father. So there's issues with the father because ninth house is father and wife, and be not calm. So impatient. Danger to father. So remember, sun is also the father in our chart. Little wealth from parents and some diseases connected with glands. All self-acquired wealth. Charitable nature. So normally these people will work hard for their money. They'll get it, but not in the blessings of the father. So remember that the sun is a natural malefic. And if you put the malefic in the ninth house, it shows that the father can be controlling. The father can have a lot of influence with the person who has this chart, which of course, can bring issues growing up. Now, ninth house is also the, how to say this? Ninth house is the natural, Sagittarius, and it involves around about our faith, okay? Which is here, it shows that the person believes in God. So this person have faith. Brahmins and teachers also, because Brahman is Jupiter, that's the teacher. So the person believes in teachers and gurus, okay? Thank you very much for your supernova. Okay, thanks, Stephanie. So, let me see here. Let's continue. So that's the whole, connection with the sun in the ninth house. Okay, so we're gonna proceed just according to plan. So let me see. Sun in the 10th. Okay, I was gonna say, where's my camera? Okay, it's right there. Sun in the 10th house. I'll just keep this green. This one, I like green. Okay. So let me move it. Oh, here we go. Okay. So sun in the 10th house. Should be the sun in the 10th, the native will be extremely intelligent, rich, strong, and will be endowed with conveyances, meaning cars. Relatives and sons will succeed in his undertakings, be valorous, okay, unconquerable and great, well known, acquires wealth, good health, education, education and tastes, good taste, government or political status, good children, magnanimous and magnanimous personality. So this is where we always say we want the sun in the 10th house. So there's different places that we want this 10th. The very first one is in the 10th house. The second one would be in the first house. So those, because it and then I believe 9th house. So you want the 10th first. The 10th is the pinnacle for the sun, and then the sun in the first house is good also, and then the 9th. So all those, okay, in that order. You want to see that. That's going to be good. That depends, but if you want to have 3 and 6 house, that's good also. But the 10th is where it performs. The reason being, you're getting what? Extremely intelligent, rich, strong, you have government, political status. Because when in the 10th house, when you were born, I explained this in another video. Okay, so when you were born as a baby, that's the baby. Okay. Because we look at astrology as the direction also in astronomy where the planets are, right? So when you were born, and this is the bed, okay, when you came out from your mom, okay, this is your mom, okay, so the mom gave birth, okay, so that's the mom, okay, and this is you as a child. Let me explain. Okay, in the 10th house, the sun is here. It's called the zenith. In Western astrology, they call it the midhaven, okay, career. This is what they say. So when you were born, you're looking at this, okay, and the sun is looking at you also, and it's bestowing you everything, okay. So if the sun is there, okay, this person has a lot of energy coming from the sun, and the sun is recognized. It's the high noon, so in high noon for the sun is where it's strongest. That's why we don't want it in the 7th, because it's already setting, and the sun is about, okay, look at me, I am this shiny, bright of an energy. So this person is blessed by the sun. Now, of course, other people is like, that doesn't make sense, how can you get a blessing from the sun? So we call this grahas, okay. Graha is a planet. It grabs. So the sun grabs the native, which is you, with what it can give to you. So it's giving you what the sun is about: political status, power, wealth, good health, education. It gives the person premier, basically. So that's why they love sun in the 10th house. So if you want to be premier, depends though, because what if Saturn is also there, right? Then now we have what we call pitridosh, a karma, okay, from your ancestors, which means if it's in, if in the 10th, it means like, the sun is not getting its power because Saturn controls it. Because Saturn is control. Sun doesn't want to be controlled. So that's that one. Different planets, different flavors. Okay. Always look at your life like a Muay Thai. Okay. There's a lot of it. It's not just a straight up martini. It's not. No, it's not. Okay. So it's a combination. It's always a Muay Thai with life, or a Long Island iced tea. So now you understand. You can't just look at one planet. So now we will go to the sun in the 11th house. Okay. Oh, I'm feeling blue. Bluer than blue. I want a red. Okay. Should sun be in the 11th? Okay. One will be interested in gathering money. Dreams and gains is the 11th house, right? Be strong. Okay. That's why they like 3, 6, 11 for this. Be strong. Will hate others though. Be devoid of servants. Nobody is around them to help. Okay. Be himself as servant. Be devoid of affection. Be modest and will be successful in undertakings. Great wealth, vehicles, good reputation, man of conduct, and good principle. Healthy, will be happy, powerful. Enemies though. Okay, so in a house of network, which is 11th house, if you put the sun over there, of course, the sun is not about working with others. The sun is about, look at me, recognize me, I'm all this strength, I'm the king. So that's why the person doesn't have people supporting them, and they would have to do it on their own. And that's why they also have powerful enemies, because they see themselves as powerful. If you're powerful, the only thing that you're going to be bumping into is same as you. But here it's just showing that, it gives you that, that wealth, that money, okay, that health also. Okay. Not everybody will like you because, 11th house is the house of networks and gains. And if it's all about you taking, okay, because the king over here, then you would gain all these haters instead of getting loved by many. Okay. Because the 10th house is much better, okay, from this one. Or even in the 3, 6, 11 in Dushtana houses. Okay. So that's the one for the 11th house. Okay. So let me get to the 12th. And then I will talk about sun, meaning the part where, okay, let me see here. The secrets of the sun. Okay, so at the end there's always a trivia. Okay, so if you stay at the end, you will find out something like, whoa, I didn't know that. Okay. Hopefully I know something that you don't know, right? But maybe you're smarter than me. Sun in the 12th house, okay? Sun in the 12th house is in at birth, will have deformed physique, okay? So the sun here really loses the power. Be one-eyed, fallen morally, will marry a barren lady, be inimical to his father, weak and mean. Yeah, we don't want sun in the 12. Well, no, we don't want poverty, thieving, devoid of character, bad reputation. So here, we don't want the sun here. Okay, so it doesn't bring its, because it shows that, one, it's at the end already, because that's why we want it the first, right, and the 10th, right, and the 12th house is this house of moksha, spirituality, liberation. That's that. But the sun is not about that. Well, sun is, yes, it is our soul, but you put our soul in a but the sun has its own desire, okay, is to be recognized, is to be the king in the eye. So here it's showing like, no, I will be taken, everything is going to be taken from you, okay? It's supposed to be, that's it, this is the end of the road, the 12th house, but the sun will not get that. So it doesn't support the sun. The house does not support the planet. Okay? So it becomes an issue for people who has this in their 12. Okay? All right. Oh, so someone has Sakshi has Sun in the 10th along with Saturn. Yeah. So normally those are called Pitridosh. Okay. It's a yoga where there is karma from your ancestors. When Sun and Saturn are together, there's karma between you, okay, and the ancestors. So that's why it's important for you to pay. Remember your ancestors before you are here. You're not here because it's just because of you. Okay, but I'm pretty sure you know about that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me see now. We're gonna look at the questions here. I'm gonna brush through the comments. Okay, and at the same time, whoever wants to get their chart, let me just see. Yeah, I've already added stock so you can get it. And the Astronova is what I recommend. So it's just the one stop. You get everything. It is lengthy. And please always remember, don't get the chart trying to compare your chart from someone that you got, an astrologer, this and that, because we look at it different, okay? If you have a chart already, don't get it because you're just going to confuse your life. Follow your path. That's your karma. That's your karma, okay? So I don't want people getting confused here because we won't be able to explain to you, okay, why this and why that, because you're in your comparison. I wouldn't know how to compare my chart from Western. I don't know Westerns. I wouldn't. Does it make sense? Okay, I follow a certain, the Western is 2 doors down on the left in the hallway, and then that's where you're gonna get the Western class. Okay, so let me come back here. Okay, so okay, let me see here. Remedies from Kelani. Okay, remedies. So very easy. It's not about the products that we carry here at Eat Read Love, even though it's amazing. Okay, it's not always about the gemstone. The sun is the sun. We just need to give respect to Surya. Okay, to the great gods. To the great god, basically, Brahma, right? Okay, the creator. So the sun created everything. Okay, correct me, right? In Hindu mythology, right? In Indian mythology, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, right? Okay. So he created everything. So in the morning before the sun rises, you have to wake up when the sun rises. So the way the universe works, if you work around how the universe works, then you're gonna be healthy. Very easy. The sun sets, you sleep. The moon rises, you get nurtured by the moon. So you have to do work when the sun rises. But before you go to work, you perform what we call in yoga, Surya Namaskar. So this is when you're clearing your energy, you're aligning your chakra in one. When you're doing your vinyasa, for example, if you're doing your vinyasa, your flow, okay, facing the sun. So you do your yoga facing the sun. You absorb the healing energy of the sun. You don't need no medicine. I'm not a doctor. What I'm talking about, how to say, it's like you drink your medicine. What I'm talking about, you don't need your medicine. Like how, for example, you get sick easily, then chances are you're gonna have more health, okay? Because you're absorbing the energy of the sun, that's why it's there for us to get the energy. So for people who are always not in the sun, right, and always inside the building, they can be very, like a little bit sluggish, lethargic, and always tired, right? Because you're not getting the energy, right? And there's also what they call like winter. It's a SAD syndrome, right? SAD. It's a syndrome where you need this artificial light even to bring in that energy, right? So other people will not have the sun every time. But if you get an opportunity, you can raise your hands towards the sun. This is very easy, very, very easy. Like when the sun is rising, not in lunchtime, you're gonna get burned. Then you need SPF 50, okay? So you raise your hands towards the sun. 45 minutes, and when it's about to rise. So when the sun rises, you rise. When the sun rests, you rest. That's how it's supposed to be. Our body works. That's why we get different kinds of illnesses and sickness, because we don't go with the flow. The universe has a flow, but humans loves their free will so much that they exist on their own world. But that doesn't work like that. It's a jungle out there. So stay in our lane, basically. Okay. So that's one of the not quick remedies. That's a very basic remedy. I am into gemstone remedy, but when I do my remedies, it's about acceptance of our karma. We can't just say I want a quick fix. There's no quick fix here. It's a constant work. It's called 6th house. It's a continuously practicing and doing things that can help you. Okay, without consistency, nothing will work. Not remedies from the Western, not remedies from the Eastern, because you just tried to do it once. No, it's not. Ideally, for any remedy to see the effect, you would have to complete a moon cycle, 30 days. From full moon to new moon. And then, the whole cycle of the moon. For you to even see some result for any remedies. Okay? The moon cycle is very, very important. But a lot of people say, oh, I was just do it once. It didn't work, Well, of course it's not gonna work. Your body didn't even have time to adapt to it. There was nothing to adapt in the first place. And then there's the 180 days, or 108 days, not 180, 108 days also. So from 30 days to 108 days. Ideally 6 months. Okay. You have to be consistent to a T. And the heart has to be there. If the heart is not there, then what you're just doing is just like raising hands in the sun. Okay. Well, I don't know. They told me to do this. No, you can't do that. That's not gonna help you out. Let me see. So those are some of the remedies. But of course, the sun is this amberish color. That's why, it is connected. If it's a crystal, or like a gemstone, it's a ruby, right? So it has that amber. So the sun is related to ruby. Okay. Not Rodriguez. Okay. Let me see here. So I'll be able to entertain questions regarding the sun, okay? And I'm just skimming through if there is questions about the sun. Let me see. Anything else? Okay. Oh yeah, so ancestral karma when Sun and Saturn together. What if you work on night shift? See, we exist in a world where we don't have the same, as what it was before. Life has changed, which means like your chart is different also, meaning compared to what people have before. So a nurse will work at night, right? A night shift, a caregiver or a doctor, they work at night, because that's your karma already. So which means that, you cannot go to the natural cycle of the whole universe because you're different, you're going through your own cycle. But what I'm teaching here is to understand that there's a cycle out there, okay, that is bigger than us. But doesn't mean that you're wrong and you're gonna be like, oh my god, I can't, I have to quit my job. Doesn't work that way, okay? Anything else? Okay. So there's nothing bad or bad in the 7th house. All planets can be bad. All planets can be good. There's duality in all planets. So all planets are karma, okay, and all has to be accepted, not just by their good and bad. So there's no bad, there's no good with Jyotish. There's no bad or good. So that's I'm not saying that's a Western mentality, but that's not the that's we don't use the word bad and good in what we follow, because those are it doesn't align to the spirituality connected to Jyotish, where it's about to enlighten. To label something good and to label something bad, we lose the understanding where we have to accept. When you accept there is nothing good and bad, it is what it is. We accept, then we grow from it. Bad, all of a sudden, it's like, I don't want that as bad. So anything bad, we would say no. Anything good, we will take. So we become a taker, right? So we have to open our hands and just accept. That's it. There's no good and bad. Because that means you're trying to escape some sort of karma. You can't escape. We've discussed that in the What's My Karma. It's another video. So check this. It's a whole playlist of learning astrology with Sal. Now, I just want you guys to be aware that when I teach, there's a lot of spirituality involved in it. Okay? Less shade, though, compared to tarot. Okay? Less shade, Sal. Okay. So... okay, so sign in the 3rd, yeah, courage, right? We've discussed in the previous video. So this is the part 2, guys. So one thing that is important also remedy-wise is having a good relationship with the father, because sun is the father. So moon is queen, mom, and then sun is king, father. So I've explained this in other videos where the king, okay, this is the king, right? And then that's the sun, and then let's do, okay, red here. And then that's the queen, that's the mom. Okay, so this is sun. Okay, and this is moon. So the sun, okay, gives us the energy to work, energy. Energy. And then the moon, okay, not, what's that word, I'm losing the word, resuscitate, no, not resuscitate, re-energize us, because it nurture. Okay, nurture. Okay, so energy and nurture here. So the connection and blessing from your father, which is the sun, and the blessing from your mother, which is the moon, is what you need in life. You need your father to give you that energy, that support, go, 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 right? And you need the mom, which is the moon, to nurture you. You don't get breastfed by your father, okay? You get breastfed by the mother, okay? So that's why the women, the female, okay, is basically the nurture, okay? Here, it's the part where the father teaches you how to hunt, how to work, what you are meant for there, out there for you to survive in the jungle. The mom takes care of the home. Now, this is not about politics. This is astrology. The moon, the mom is the fourth house. Comfort. Okay, nurture. That's the moon. When you look at the moon and you glaze in the moon, you feel nurtured. You dream. When you look at the sun in the morning, you gotta look at your clock. I better go to work, right? You look at the sun. Oh no, it's 10 o'clock. I need to go to work. Yeah, work started at 7. You need to wake up earlier. See, when you look at the moon, you don't say, oh, moon, I need to go to work. No, no. You look at the moon. Oh, it's late. I need to sleep. So this is having the blessing of the father and the mother. So very, very important. But right now, of course, we're touching the subject of the father. The father will mold you, which is the sun, will mold you to your work. That's why sun is the karka for the 10th house, which is our career. So the father shows us, okay, how to farm. The moon does not farm. The moon nurtures the plants at night, right? And then it grows by the sun. The moon is water. The sun is the heat. So the sun heats the farm in the morning. In the morning, right? And then you have the moon also giving that energy, that flow, that water. So you need those combinations. And then you grow. And then now you become a rice grain. Hopefully, okay, gluten-free. Okay, brown rice. Okay. So, what if mom is masculine and single? Now, masculine and single, masculine is how to say this? I'm not sure if you know their Navamsha, because that's where we will see the feminine, masculine of the person. Because a guy can also be feminine in the Navamsha, because that's where we see feminine and masculine energy. Okay, because the way you go with it is like Aries masculine, Taurus feminine, Gemini masculine, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer feminine, Leo masculine, odd even. In the Navamsha, if your ascendant is wherever it fell, that's who you are inside. You will be a feminine or a masculine regardless of your genitalia. Okay. So, and a single mom doesn't make them a different moon, from a mom with a partner. It's still a moon. The moon is a moon. The mom is a mom. It doesn't change anything. Okay. Now, when you say, like, for example, if your father is not here anymore, the father image is always around us. Okay. So, it doesn't matter where, because we're all energies here, darling. Okay, we're not talking about bloodline only. The Father is around you every time. Remember that what is not, what do you call this? You have this karma in your tribe. Okay, so you have a tribe. All those are the same people, reincarnate, past, present. You were once the son, you were once the mother, you were once the niece, you were once the nephew. At some point, you were the dog, at some point, you were the cat. It's the same tribe. You don't go outside the tribe because that tribe is what you're finishing in the karma. I won't be meeting Bezos for lunch today. He's not part of my tribe. No, he's not. No, he's not. But I may be having lunch with a Kardashian because the Kardashian is part of my tribe. And probably the Kardashian was this and that before you. You don't. You only meet people who have significant karma with you because you can't meet the billion of people. So that father that you said that is done, has left, okay, is the same karma around you with your uncle, with your grandpa. You know, it's the same karma. That's why the same ex keeps coming around, even though the ex is not dead though. Okay, it's the same karma. You always will have the same karma until you finish it. You cannot avoid it. That's why relationship you end, you find out a same relationship again, because the karma is not over, and it's the same exact situation. Every year is the same. Every year is the same until you break a cycle. You will see it. Everything repeats until you break a cycle, meaning you burn the karma. If you don't, continuously, life is a cycle. It's just a circle. It keeps going around in the same. Okay, life is not a cinnamon swirl. It doesn't go far. It doesn't go inside. It's just same, like that. So the same pattern that you're dating, the same pattern that you're making money, the same pattern that you're finishing education, the same pattern that you have relationship with your mom, the same pattern that you have fights with your brother, the same, until you break the cycle. The question is, are you aware of the karma? Because that's why when you read your chart, you're aware. Oh, so I have difficulty with my father. Now, in order for me to break this cycle, okay, to go to the next, because now you're enlightened, you see it, I will have to understand that they're coming from care, even though I know they're trying to control me. It's just their nature. I accept. Break the cycle. Move to the next now. So you don't have to meet, so you won't have this father trauma possible. But this is deep. This is a long discussion. Okay? So no one is dead. They're all alive. They're all around you. So no one is really dead. No one. Your grandma, they're not dead. She's going to be probably the nurse who's going to take care of you when you go to the hospital. That doctor that will look into your eyes and say, it's like, you're going to be better. That's your grandma right there. You just dead and now. It's the same tribe. No one is dead. I don't believe in dead. They're always just there. So, let me see. Anything else? Humans just think of the death as a physical death, but the soul does not die. The soul does not have cancer, only the body. So the body has separated, but there's three though. You need the body, the mind, and the spirit. Okay, the body's dead. So cannot function anymore. You have to find another body, which they do. They always find another body. Anything else? Okay, as far as the sun and the moon. So for anyone who wants to learn more about themselves, okay, you can get while you guys are still chatting over here. Make sure you guys watch the part 1. Oh, everybody who's here. If you watch the part 1, the first house to the 6th house, if you guys. How do you break a karma or end a cycle? You have to understand who you are, how you are, about you. Self-reflection. It's a stage, it's a process, can take years. But it can start, you can start any day and you can stop any day. A lot of people will go through the day, waking up, sleep, waking up, sleep. There's nothing wrong if that's their karma. But if you're saying that you want to break a cycle, then the consciousness of the mind, the body, and the spirit has to be one. It's the whole consciousness of 3. Because the mind can say, I want to break a cycle. But the body refuses it. I don't want to wake up. I'm too lazy. The soul is yearning to break a cycle. I feel like I need to be nicer to people. But I'm too lazy to do charity. No. Without those 3, the mind, body, acting as one, in unison, in sync, you won't be able to break the cycle. So you ask yourself, what is the spiritual practice that you are doing? Okay, the sadhanas. How are you doing your spiritual practices? Because that's for your soul. How are you with your physical, your body, physical? Exercising, eating. What are you doing for your physical health? Your mental, the mind. How are you? Are you watching TikTok every day, which is, I think it's entertaining, but it feeds into your head and it makes you not really think. I feel like it's entertaining, but we gotta tone it down. But that's what it is. The mind, body, and the soul. If it's one, then you break a cycle because you're driven by the three here. That is very important. That's how. So this is when you commit to breaking a cycle. So the body can be committed. I want to break the change. I want to make the change. Soul is not. The body. So you find balance in one. You can't do everything. It takes process. Years. It's not easy. So, like what I was saying. Okay. But that's called self-mastery, knowing who you are. That's what you're supposed to be here. It's not about, I want to get married and have kids. Yes, of course, that's the divine, mission for us here, to have kids and progeny and happy, I understand that. But, there's a lot of things besides that. Astronova, make sure you get that, guys, okay? That's the best one that I can suggest, okay? Or you can get your birth chart, astro chart over there. So do check it out at eatrelove.me. Anything else? Okay. Thumb. Okay, Thumb. You purchased it yesterday. We do send out a reply. You would have to fill it up. Check your spam always. Okay. What else? How do you know if you meet your deceased family members somewhere else? You won't. There is no tag that this is the deceased family. But everybody's a family. So it doesn't have to be, everybody's a family. Everybody is. It's a tribe that you're looking at. So people that you work with is a tribe. There's the same mother that you're hating right now next to you in the office. You just didn't know. So now if you realize, this is my mother from my past life, I need to be nicer. Right? So deal with humans the way that you would deal with humans inside your home. Hopefully that, you deal with humans nicely, right? That's how it is, But we lack that, I'm not being politics, but we lack that humanity side. No. We lack that humanity side, that we look at people as family. Everybody's a family. Supposedly, that's the whole idea of this. I mean, it's only one planet, is it? So where did you come from? From one. It started with one, right? So basically, everybody's family. It's just distant relatives. I have distant relatives in India. I just never met them, okay? Because they were born 2,000 years ago, and I was born 1,000 years ahead. Doesn't make sense. Everybody's a family. It's humanity, right? So where did you come from? I came from the same place. It's just a lineage of generation. But people are so distant. They're so about them, You can't find a tribe. You exist with one, and then you have to learn to be with the tribe. The tribe is what makes you grow. Sun is in the 12th house with Saturn. Okay. Oh, it's losing strength, especially the degrees matter. 27, 28, 29, the planet loses its strength. So if the sun is at 27 degrees, 28, it's losing its strength because it's gaining strength to the next house. So you might even find yourself even having that energy in the first house and not in the 12th house. It goes to the first house because it's losing in the 12, and you might see it as a first. But this is based on you. How do you see it in your life? Are you a sun in the 12 because Saturn is there? There's control. It's being, that's a lot of karma there. Or you're seeing yourself as a more prominent sun in the first house. People recognize you. You get attention. You do have wealth. You have good standing in society. If you see it there because it's losing in the 12, it's gaining in the first. Degrees matter. Very, very important. Well, the degrees are very specific. That's a long subject. And after this, we haven't done the moon, which that's gonna be the next subject for us. Okay. When will Sadisati end for Danu Rashi? Well, we have to look at Saturn. I mean, like, we can't do Saturn right now. We're talking about Sun. Okay? Okay. So, and then we'll look at your Rashi. Next time, we're gonna do it. Okay? So, because the next subject is, not right now, but this is the next one that we're gonna be discussing is the Moon. Because we just finished the Sun. So, let's talk about the Queen. Okay? The Queen is the next subject. Very, very important. Because it's ascendant in the Moon sign. Always important, right? Those two. The strength of the Moon is the strength of your life. A good Moon, which means a healthy mind, can get you through a lot of things. So a good Moon is what we're going to look for. Moon is Chandra. So we call it Chandra Lagna. Okay, Chandra Lagna. Very, very important. The day that you were born and the shape of the Moon, waxing or waning, it already shows, the strength of the person. Is it a full moon or a new moon? Okay, so you need to see. Don't just look at your, when you look at it, look at the day when you were born. Okay, this is not part of a chart, but look at it. What was the shape of the moon? Very, very important, because this is how you will deal with people also. The shape of the moon. Okay, so because like the different shapes of the moon is we go through it. But it's about specific timing of events that you can do, because we look at the moon as an auspicious planet, so it can give you that blessing. So where the strength of the moon is when you start something is very, very important. But we're not yet there though. Okay, that's the next subject for us. Okay, so for anyone who wants to get their chart, I put in the description box below. Everybody who is here currently in this class, to everybody, just want to give a shout out to if you're born at night, yes, there's a big difference being born in the morning and at night. Totally. There's a lot of rules, not rules, there's a lot of scriptures about that. Okay, so yes, the moon is pointy, born with because but this is based on Mr. Sanjay Rath. Okay, I'm just gonna discuss it briefly. Okay, so people, I think this is called a crescent moon. I'm not sure. Okay, we're not there today, but this is how hurtful a person is, because the point here, this is the point. Compared to a person who's born in a full moon, this person can be hurtful-ish. Okay, but that's a big discussion, guys. This is basically like, I'm not even doing justice teaching you this, because this is very minuscule. Very minuscule. Okay, it's not doing justice. You're not learning here. But I'm just giving that as a reference, because Stephanie remembered about that. Okay? So that's why the shape of the moon is very, very important. Because you could be dealing with someone who was born when it was that shape. That's why they're hurtful. So you can't change a hurtful person. They have to change on their own. So you just have to accept them. So now stop dealing with them then, and then move on with your life. You cannot change them. They were born with a crescent moon. So why you can't change that? They're supposed to learn how to be nicer. So don't try to change them. Let them change on their own. A lot of people want to change other people. Okay. So the next is moon. Chandra. Cash flow is the moon. Queen is the moon. Moon is milk also. Moon is rice also. That's why moon can pacify us. Okay. Moon is rice. Very, very good. Okay. So thank you very much, guys, for everybody who's here. Make sure to check out our birth chart report. If you are waiting for yours and you haven't heard, it's like, oh my God, I haven't heard, like 10 days or 20 days, 2 years, you haven't heard. Reach out to us at contactsupport@salbiador.com. We always send out. The issue is we get to the spam. Okay, and it will come from a salbiadora.com email, not eatreadlove email. It would come from salbiadora.com, @salbiadora.com. That's where it's gonna come from. The sheet that you have to put your time and place of birth. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys again in the next Astro 101. We're gonna discuss about, this is exciting, this is about the moon. It's gonna be 2 parts also, because I'm looking at it right now. It's a little lengthy, I think. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.